ID. So you 5 at the door. All right. All right, you're good. You go inside.
Good morning. I have a homie that's in a lot of projects, but mainly they are involved in like uh I would say you're pretty entrepreneurial, but like your main thing is this sick ass band called Indifferent. Welcome,
Yeah.
Addie.
Hello.
Uh, so you and we've been hanging out for I feel like years, because you keep filling in or are in bands that we end up playing with. So like, what are the bands that you've played with in Nashville?
What are all the bands I played with?
Yeah, what are because it's ridiculous. It's like so many bands.
I actually had a list for 2024. I counted 7.
Because you did boy clothes, you did weak knees, well, you singing indifferent, but I mean,
Yeah, so all the bands I was a part of in 2024 was like it's like Weak Knees, Indifferent, Officer Down. Those are the main
right,
three.
right,
And then
right.
it was Boy Clothes, Carson D. Bell and the End Times.
Mhm.
There is a band called Rabbit Club that I don't think exists anymore.
Oh, R.I.P. I love them.
Yeah, yeah, they just got too busy. Their bass player is a touring musician now.
Okay, dang.
Um, and I think I was supposed to fill in for a band, but they like crumbled. They were called Laurel Hell.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
So that's my 7.
I mean, that's fucking crazy. So let's kind of go through like some lore here. Like, when did you start picking up this music thing? How long have you been in Nashville? When did Indifference start? That's kind of the main thing. Let's just kind of go through it.
The whole music thing, probably I started. It all started when my dad bought me a drum set for my birthday when I was 10.
Oh shit.
I was kind of a sneaky little kid. Um, he bought my sister a bass guitar, and then he went up to me and was like, you play bass in orchestra. Do you want a bass guitar or do you want a drum set?" My like, I thought about this as a 10-year-old and went, "I already have a bass. I'll get the
Yeah, because
drum
you knew
set."
they weren't gonna. You knew there was already a bass in the house. Duh.
Yeah, so I was gonna just play both whenever I had the moment, and I still own that bass to this day, which is really funny. It's in my house.
Oh, funny.
Um, so yeah, I've been doing that, and then so I've been playing drums for 17 years.
Oh, that's fucking incredible. I mean, you are like an amazing drummer. Like the stuff that you've done for like Weak Knees and I've seen you do for Boy Clothes, like you are insane.
Yeah, Boy Clothes is really fun because like when I learned the stuff, I asked Noah, I was like, "Hey, do you want me to learn this like as is, or can I like add my own flair?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "I don't care, do whatever you want." And I was like, "Okay, bet."
Yeah, I mean that's I feel like that is so indicative of like who like the boy I feel like it's no longer just Boy Clothes, it's like the Boy Clothes project, which everyone is allowed to like go in and play a part every once in a while because they're constantly doing stuff, but they also need like replacement members every once in a while. And so everyone is able to like fold in their new stuff all the time.
Yeah, it's so cool to see like every rendition of Boy Clothes,
Uh-huh.
just to see like, especially when because like I got too busy for Boy Clothes with Officer Down and Indifferent taking off. So I just had to like, at the time I was like, I'm in 4 bands. I need to cut one. Boy Clothes is the newest band I'm in. I need to like get
Sure.
it out. And Noah was super like cool about it. So but it's cool seeing what everyone else was like. Even at Nashville, Bryson from Topiary Creatures came up to no one was like, were y'all playing new songs? And no one went, no, that was just Addie just doing whatever the fuck she wanted.
Yeah, dude. It's so cool to see. Well, I think that's also very Nashville, very Nashville. First of all, shout out Nashville. Nashville is my favorite uh like Nashville DIY conglomerate. Like it's I whenever someone reaches out to us about like booking for Nashville, I just point them in the direction of Nashville. Nashville is my favorite like booking like thing because they have my the best connections to the best spots that are more DIY than others, and I just love them for it. Ofadoki, Bug is amazing, and Patsy is amazing.
I love
They're just their community is so cool.
Yeah, they've definitely like taken a long time to get where they are, and it's really fun watching them build up to it. Because I remember the first time I met them was an impromptu show at my house because they canceled on us. Like they didn't even tell us that, like they just like no showed and then sent Weak Knees a message on Facebook like, can y'all just do it tomorrow? And we're like, no, dog, they're touring bands.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
So I just told her, I was like, yo, my house down the street. I live like 3 miles away from here. Let's just have a show at my house.
That's ridiculous. How long ago was this?
That was in like 2022. That's when I first like kind of joined Weak Knees.
Oh no shit. Did you join for that Southern Hospitality record?
No. So the thing that this so how I joined Weak Knees is very funny to me. All of us went to the same university at the same time.
Cool.
And I was in class with Will Shepard, the bass player,
Hmm.
and I was just wearing a See You Space Cowboy shirt because the day prior I saw See You Space Cowboy and Wrist Meets Razor at Exited.
Hmm.
And Will just comes up to me and goes, "Hey, I like your shirt. I think that's cool. You're the only person in this like super rich university that has cool band shirts on all the
Yeah.
time." And so we started talking, and then I was like, and then like after a while, in that conversation, I was like, "Oh, hey, do you know about the Milwaukee hardcore scene?" And he's like, "No." I was like, "That's where I'm from. That's where I grew up. Like, that's where DIY like formed me." I was like, "You got to check out this mixtape called Milwaukee Style."
Shut the fuck up. I like that so you're from Milwaukee and
I'm from Madison, Wisconsin.
okay, cool. I'm from Iowa City, and like Iowa City and Madison are like I love Madison. If when you grow up in Iowa City, you fucking love Madison. I'm a Milwaukee hater. Um, uh, I it's I've talked to a lot of people online about this. My idea of how I that was formed of why I hate Milwaukee is I took a trip with my wife up there. I used to live in Chicago. And so when you live in Chicago, the only thing to do in Chicago, like, is just Chicago. There's nothing to do outside of it, like, at all.
That's a lie. You go to Lake
It's
Geneva.
or you could go to Lake Geneva or you could go to Milwaukee. Like there's that like I'm an outside person. I like hiking and shit. And there's not that in fucking Chicago. And I went to Milwaukee one time and it was the only time I went and my car got broken into. I got pulled over by the cops. Like we went to some casino and it was a fucking nightmare.
Was it Potawatomi? Because that's the only.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Fuck Potawatomi.
Yes, dude. It was like super dumb. Like it was just I had such a bad time. Milwaukee sounds great, but it was just like, no, fuck you. That place sucks.
Damn, you need to like find the gems because I love Milwaukee and there's a lot of really cool things. Milwaukee is like in a way I compare it to Nashville because Milwaukee to me is like such a business orientated city
No
but you
shit.
have little gems of like art and really cool shit that pops up here and there. There's I don't know if you know about it, but there is a house venue called JJ's Bar and Grill that's
Cute.
been that's been operating since 2016, and they had their 150th show a couple years ago.
Oh my God.
Like it's the only house venue I know of that's been running for that long. Almost 10 years.
That's I mean that's also to hit that many shows, like that's one every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a
No,
lot.
like at least once a month for 7 years, 12 months a year.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
And they've that house is like, I don't know, that house is really famous in the DIY scene. I don't know how like it's a bucket list venue for me because
Mhm.
so many awesome bands have played there before they like blew up. Like K Nashi's played there, Sea Space Cowboy, Origami Angel played there during their Somewhere City days.
Wild.
Mom Jeans played there during their first album.
How far away is Madison from Milwaukee?
It was like an hour and a half drive, so I
Oh,
would do
that's
that.
not bad.
No, I would eat that drive like twice a week to go to
Yeah.
shows.
So growing up in Madison, first of all, I love Madison. I can't like say enough amazing things about Madison. Um, did what was it like, being a part of like or wanting to be a part of like alternative counterculture music scenes in Wisconsin in itself? How did you end up finding these things?
So, I did. So I always tell people I grew up in Madison, but I grew up in a suburb right outside, like
Mhm.
5 minutes outside. No one knows what the suburb's called, so I don't even
Sure.
bother.
I mean, like you could say the same thing about Chicago, but like everyone knows what those places are, which is why there's so much like animosity or people that say they're like from Chicago, even though they fucking grew up in Joliet. Like
Yeah.
there's like there's that thing, but when it comes to Madison, I feel like that they're just so much smaller that you can totally say that you're from Madison.
Yeah. So it's just like, so I grew up in the like this suburb, and I really wanted to get into like a live band. I wanted to be in the bands for a while. I so did the thing every high schooler does is find anybody in your school that plays music, no matter what they play, and be like, "You're in my band.
Yes.
You're in my band. You're in my band." We made some like shitty like classic rock blues band that was really funny at the time. Just like 15-year-olds just playing like Led Zeppelin covers and Jimi Hendrix covers. Um, with that being said, we almost won Battle of the Bands, but
Cool. What
shut
covers
up.
did you play for that show?
We played like Foxy Lady, Moby Dick. I don't remember all of them, but it's funny because we lost to like a shitty pop punk band.
Yes.
Yeah. But those are the people that I was like, what are you doing? Because they were the ones that are like, oh, you have to go to this community center in Madison. That's where the shows are at. I eventually finally went to one. Um, Funny enough, it was Barely Civil's first ever show.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous. Are they
yeah.
from that area?
No,
What? Oh, I'm so like my brain just kind of shut the fuck off for a second.
at the time, they're from Wausau, which is 3 hours north of Madison.
Oh,
So, because they were still in high school at the time too. Um, and I saw them. They played with this band called Dropout Valedictorians. That was the pop punk band that beat my band. And I think it was like
fuckers.
Unnecessary Gunpoint Lecture or some shit like that.
Okay.
I don't know, some like metal band. I don't know, it was cool for the time. But yeah, it was really funny. So it's always fun. Side tangent, it's always fun when I go back up to Wisconsin and whatever band I'm in, and I go, hey, what's up? By the way, I saw y'all play at Bristol Community Center. And they're like, shut the fuck up. That was our first show ever. And I'm like,
That's so crazy. Like it's what did it feel like to like did you listen to the stuff out like or was this your first like exposure into like that type of music?
I think that was my first exposure into like DIY as a 16, 17 year old.
That's kind
So
of insane because like when you went home that night, this was what year was this?
that would have been like 2015,
So
2014.
2015, this is like a mainly a kind of a Facebook world. Is this like all the ways of searching for music back then? I guess it was kind of mainly just Spotify. Is that how you like you're like, cool, I found all these people on Spotify and now I'm gonna look for bands that are like this. I want to be a part of this whole thing forever.
No, actually, coming home from that show, I was like, wow, that was a cool show. That's it.
Oh
I
my
was,
God. So like it kind of inched its way into your life.
yeah, I didn't really like get really involved until I got into community college, and that's when I met some people from another further away suburb, but um and they were just like, "Hey, you have to go to Milwaukee to go to this show. Go to this venue called JJ's." And I was like, "Okay." And then we went, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is crazy." And that was like 2017, 20
And
no, 2016.
holy shit.
And like I went to a couple shows then, but didn't really do much. And then here and there in 2017 went to some shows. That's where I discovered like Kainashi and this really cool like post-hardcore band called Eves.
Hmm.
Um and at that time too, I was like trying to get in more bands, and then I met more people at community college, and we had this like really cool droney shoegaze project for like 3 years.
Oh no shit. What was that called?
It was called Broom.
Great. Awesome. That's a great
Yeah, it
name.
was cool. We that was like that's kind of what really got me like involved in DIY, because that's when I was like, how do I book a show?
Yeah. How is it learning that? I feel like that there's just no good guideline. I feel like that it's kind of this thing where like when you start a band, you don't really know any but other bands, or like you don't really ask for help, or when you ask for help, it's kind of weird. Everyone just goes, well, just reach out. I think that there's like this weird like you kind of have to bust a cherry in a way where you have to like do it yourself and learn how it all works.
Yeah. I probably did the worst approach. Like my guitarist knew some people that ran house shows in Madison. So like we got shows a little bit here and there, but my approach was so bad and I don't recommend it. I would like cold call like email venues,
Oh my
and
God.
I'd be like, "Hi, I'm a band. I don't really know how this works. We'd love if you have an open slot for a show. Let us know. We'd love to play." And like I blasted that throughout all the venues in Madison, and I sent that to like a couple in Milwaukee, and like it worked for one show, and that was the weirdest show I've ever played.
What happened at this show?
It was like some like it was at um it was at this shitty bar called Barley Pop Live, but before that it was like this famous, it was like a really well-known venue, and I don't remember what it's called, and someone's gonna fucking DM me later when they hear this and go, "It's this, you fucking dumbass." I don't remember what it's called on top of my head, but it was a really well-known venue, and this like gentrifier bought it out. Um, and so it was like this like weird, like drony, noisy indie pop band that had a lot of like percussion. They had a taiko drum, gongs, wind chimes.
What the fuck?
No, it was great. And it was like this like instrumental math rock band, and then us. But that whole show is funny. From load in to load out, it was goofy because like we didn't know what we were doing, and
Mhm.
watching my guitarist be so anxious to the point where he was like, "Addie, do you still have the cowboy hat? Can I wear it? It makes me feel better."
Incredible.
But like, so when we get there, we're under the impression we're playing first because we're the band no one knows.
Mhm.
No, the headliner plays first. They were like, we're old. We have to go to bed.
That's
9:30 music time is late.
that is like a weird thing you learn about DIY is that everything is reversed. Like
Yeah.
it's very strange. Like once you get into like, oh, I'm a outside, like once you get into like basement east levels, like that's when you start learning that like oh, then it flips back to how you grew up where the the headliner is actually less.
Yeah. So it's like we stayed and watched all these bands play, and it gets to us. It's like 12:30 in the morning, and the only people who are left are the two-piece no math rock band and like my friend.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you have to play to nobody eventually, but
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
like,
some
oh,
oh
what?
no, go ahead.
I was like, it was funny because we're just like the people that stayed really liked our shit, and they're like, wow, you guys are crazy. Like, you're like, how, this is your second show and you sound like that? They're like, that's crazy. Because like a lot of bands, what I noticed when they first start out, they're really nervous. They do a lot of banter. They talk a lot to like fill the void. Um, we're all extremely introverted and
Yeah.
neurodivergent, and we're like, hey, instead of talking, what if we make drones and use this freeze pedal and just like transition to the next song because we don't want to talk to anybody.
I think it's funny because as much of an extrovert I'm actually nervous on stage, and I don't like to talk. I always forget to like plug merch. I always forget to plug a lot of stuff, and I just kind of like just start yelling. And Mikey is really a lot better at that than I am. But I
Yeah,
just want to keep like,
I've noticed that Mikey does a lot of the more like businessy banter and be like,
yeah,
what's up?
dude.
And like you're just like you have like Chihuahua energy.
I'm
You're
just like I have so much runoff from the song that I just played that I don't like. I'm like I am not in the space to like talk out. Yeah, but Chihuahua
um,
energy is very real.
one day I'm gonna like watch you guys play and like I'm gonna unironically I'm gonna watch you just like point at someone and be like, I like your khaki shorts.
God fucking damn it. Okay, so we got the lore. Let's talk about Indifferent. This thing is like this project is really fucking cool. It's got like uh I would say See You Space Cowboy is like I would say is the main inspiration. Would that be correct?
I would say for this EP, yes. It was a lot of like
Cool.
See You Space Cowboys, what I listened to a lot while making like while early stages of writing this EP. Um, with just like hints of like Attack and stuff like that. Like the whole vibe was when I was first writing this EP, I was like, oh, I want to make a beatdown project.
Sure, sure,
Uh,
sure.
and then I met my best friend, didn't know that at the time, and producer Oriana, and I was just like, "Hey, let's just hang out." I showed her the song, and she was like, "Oh, that's dope. We have to record it." So we recorded it, and like I can't at the time, I couldn't sing very well or at
Mhm.
all, and she was like, "I know just the thing. What if we use auto tune?"
Yes.
And so then, because she knew nothing about the genre, she knew nothing about like MySpace, metalcore, crabcore, anything. And like it clicked to me. I went, oh, we could be a crabcore band easy.
That's
Um,
so funny.
the funny thing about Indifferent is that it was a COVID project I started in 2020 when I still lived in Wisconsin. It's supposed to be an emo project.
Weird. What made it change?
So I released a 3-track EP during COVID. And what changed was the last song of that EP was a lot heavier than the
Uh-huh.
rest of them, but still in like weird alternative tuning.
Hmm.
I didn't know how to play guitar, so like it's a very lo-fi EP. You can like the guitars are chopped up. Like it was literally me like play a chord, stop, hit record again, play a different chord,
No shit.
mush it together to make it sound like to make it smooth. Um, and I had a friend. Her name is Tyrell, and she's a super good like screamer. She very insane like fries, and I was like, I was like, hey, this song's really heavy. What if I got you on it? And then when I released it and like passed out CDs, all my friends are like, the third track was the best. That was the best. You should go in that direction. And I was like, go in heavy direction. Got it. No more
I like
emo.
that
It's
road mark,
heavy.
that mark on the road of where you're like, okay, cool. There's the. Do you see like an alternate universe where like you kept going the emo way, or do you think the gravity towards going into the heavier stuff would have happened eventually?
Um, I feel like if I stuck learning guitar at the time, because Indifferent, the first EP was actually based off a tuning from camping in Alaska.
Hmm.
I don't remember. It was a weird tuning. But if I stuck with the more emo route, I feel like it would have been a really interesting project.
Hmm.
Um, very, I didn't realize it, but that was like indifferent. If I stayed kept it emo, was heading in a very scrams route.
Sure.
Um, which would have been really cool, but I've always listened. Like I grew up, my family is just a metalhead, so I grew up with like listening to like just metal radio. My dad taking me to like see Non-Point.
Wild.
Yeah, so like it was bound to happen. Listening to Motionless in White at the ripe age of 13 during the,
Incredible.
yeah, so it's like just all this stuff. So yeah, eventually it was it was going into like a heavy route, and Indifferent's always been like a event project. Um,
Sure.
just a good way for me to like outlet my emotions at the time, and especially like there's one song in the new EP, the one I've been referencing called No Escape, and it's just about like I was having a really hard time in college, and I was just like, no matter what I do, I'm not gonna reach that end goal, like no
Hmm.
matter how I try. But then like later throughout the rest of the writing process, writing other songs, when I like really discovered my self identity and came out to people, I was like, I started writing more about my struggles being trans, and I was like, and then I looked back at No Escape, and I'm like, the lyrics are so broad, you can relate this to anything, not just like school, but like how you're feeling. And
Hmm.
so I started to like rework the rest of the lyrics on the rest of the EP to be like, I want this to be as broad as possible. Yes, this is coming from someone who's transgender, but I want you to be like, no, I relate to that. I
Sure.
don't care like my gender identity. I don't care. Like you could be someone who lives in nowhere, Texas, and you're like, no, I get this. I relate to this.
What was what did it feel like to zoom out a little bit on the lyrics to become more broad? Because like I think that lyrics is something that like also do y'all do music first or do you do lyrics first?
I usually do music first. I
I think
will
that's
like,
pretty classic.
yeah. So what I'll do, so here's like the whole process. I will like just noodle around guitar and I'll be like, oh, that's a cool riff. And then I'll just keep playing it and then I'll just keep adding on to it. Lots of like voice memos, lots of
Sure.
video. Um, and then once I like think I have a good structure, then I'll um and even sometimes while I'm playing the riffs, I'll just start like singing or screaming ideas and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Let's do this. Oh, that's cool. Let's do this." And then I'll have like a whole structure down. And then when I demo it, that's when I'll like we'll start like really cooking, like looking at my on my DAW and be like, "Oh, this is let's take this part out. This will be a really cool moment for this to shine. Let's do this. Let's take this
Hmm.
part out. Let's add this part." Um, so after all the instrumentals are done, I just go on walks, long, like I'll just walk a lot. And so I'll just listen to this instrumental track on repeat and just like think about it and go on and just like start freestyling lyrics. I literally just let my self-conscious like speak for me. And, like how am I feeling at that month, at that moment? I just let it out. So and it's funny because a lot of people I'm bad at keeping secrets. I leaked the hell out of this EP. It's
You
not
yeah, you fucking did.
I I have I have a bad problem of leaking shit. Um, there are some bands like with Officer Down, I don't leak anything because I'm like they have a process. I don't really want to be like, hey, check out this new single because like people will actually take it and run where it's like, oh, here's the Indifferent song, and you're like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's also like if people leak things to me, or if I was as like the primary person and songwriter in 95, I feel like it's up to me whether if I want to leak it. Because
Hmm.
it's like, the project, this is my project. So it's like I don't have to, I'm gonna fucking send this to whoever I want. But if I was like playing, if I play rhythm guitar in Full Blown Meltdown, anything that's leaked to me, that's not up to me to like, when Will sends me something, I can't send that out. Like I might show the rest of 95 because that's like, okay, I can trust these people, but like it's not up to me to send that stuff. And I'm pretty guarded about other people's things. But about 95 stuff, I have like a Discord where like I literally post like demos as I'm working on them. It's like I want people to know this shit. I love leaking. And leaking works.
It really does work. I've gotten some gigs because of it, or like um especially just like someone's like, oh, I heard my friend showed me your song. Now I have fans in Colorado that don't even know who we are.
Yeah, dude, that's how it fucking works. You just start sending it. I mean, there's a famous story. I think the reason why I'm pro leaking, or at least like pro sharing music, is there's a famous if anyone's heard the band Puddle of Mud. Uh Puddle of Mud is a ridiculous new metal. If everyone's probably heard the song Blurry. But the story goes is that the main guy from Puddle of Mud, went to I think it was a Limp Bizkit show, or it was homie went to like another big new metal band and just like snuck backstage and like left the tape for Puddle of Mud with like a piece of tape on it that said Puddle of Mud, like on like in the VIP in the green room, or like gave it to the guy, and that's how like that band happened. It's like the movie version of how a band got big happened to them. And so I think about like sharing music. I always think about that story, even though yes, it's fucking Puddle of Mud, but like there is benefit to like just share it as it goes. Like there's nothing fucking wrong with it. When you shared Indifferent, it showed, not only did it showcase like that you can do all this stuff, and like yeah, we all know that you're fucking talented in doing all this other stuff, but like now we know that you have like this whole different side, and Nashville knows now.
Yeah, because at the time, Nashville only knew me as like, oh, you're just a Midwest emo drummer.
Yeah.
And then I was sending people like the leak I sent you, which was No Escape. And I'm like, oh, did you know that I love metalcore and I everything you hear on this record is me? And they're like, what?
Yeah,
You
it was
are
crazy.
big?
I lost my
What?
fucking mind. Like you were in my mind before I was graced with Indifferent. Was you were like an entrepreneurial DIY person. You were a drummer that fills in. You do mixing and mastering and possibly photography. I know that you were just like you were involved. You had like many fingers, many pies.
Yeah, I try and wear many hats in the scene. Cause like I have, especially when I was in Milwaukee, I felt really awkward. And I'm like, I want a little job. I just want to be involved. Like I don't like standing and like I like watching the bands, but I want a job. I want a little job to do something. Like it's so funny because the way I met you, I was doing photography because I couldn't afford the ticket. And I told Rabbit Club, like, yo, if I take photos, can you just get me in? They're like, yeah, I got you. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this camera, but I'm a
I'm
fake it
gonna
till
shoot, baby.
Because I remember you came up to me and you're like, I love your angles. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh my God, that was like, okay, so I met you at Cafe Coco for that crazy. Okay, that's all right. That's so funny. That show is awesome. I'm glad that everyone got to play Cafe Coco because I think they closed like 2 weeks later.
I never got the opportunity to do Cafe Coco.
It is a really awkward, cool space.
Yeah,
Like that
from what I saw.
that was with having like no back entrance to like load in. You have to load in through all these people that are like trying to enjoy their coffee. Like I'm so happy that it opened up a lot of space. Like Cafe Coco is just so dear to everyone's heart in DIY because they would let anybody play, anyone in
Yeah.
the back. But that loaded experience was like super awkward.
Yeah, I mean, after I mean, I was very familiar with Cafe Coco. That was a lot of long nights sipping on tea there, doing homework and studying. And I was really sad when they closed, but it's so funny because like, so I'm during the day I'm a barista, and I'm super nerdy about coffee. This is funny. People tell me, don't go to this cafe, don't go to these certain cafes, their coffee sucks. And I then go, how bad could it be? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
go to them and I order their shit, and I'm like, I'll drink it and be like, this sucks.
Yeah. You
But no,
should you should also review. All right, first thing, all right, couple things. One, you make great cold brew that
oh,
you like. I bought cold brew from you specifically because you made it. Like you literally delivered it to my house,
I've been
and
doing that sometimes.
it's
I
very cool. Your small batch coffee is ridiculous.
Thank you. It's a yeah, I just everything I've learned from um doing it professionally in cafes, I've just applied the same techniques and knowledge. And um yeah, so usually I do a test batch, then I'll sip on it, take notes, be like, okay, I don't really care for it, look at the weather, see what the weather's like tomorrow because I have to do small batches. And I'm like,
Mhm,
okay, it's gonna be a little hotter, I'm gonna grind it just a tad coarser.
mhm.
And then the next batch, I'm like, this shit slaps. And then those are the batches where I like approve. I probably will do it again this year, but it's money's tight and I can't just get away with getting free coffee this year like I could last year.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So when it comes to like, let's talk about like the DIY market when it comes to like how fucking hard it is to do this. And like, I am, uh, when it comes like I'm 37, corporate job, like
Oh,
that thing, it's I work from home. It's there are parts of my life that make this like that's why I'm able to do a podcast. I'm home and I can find time in between things. Um, be as it may, when it comes to DIY, there's a lot of people that like are doing like this, working at coffee shops and have doing photography, doing lots of little things. Do you think that it's more beneficial to have again the many fingers, many pies thing, or like having just like the big job? Like, do you think that it works better for you to like try and be almost entrepreneurial than like having like one thing to fund the thing?
um, I think I think it depends on everyone's situation.
Hmm.
Um, literally, so my coffee shop job is paying the bills. That it's solely to make sure I have a roof over my head and I can eat some food.
Hmm.
I have a second job at night where I build stages for arenas around town. That's the money that goes towards my gear.
Hmm.
So like that's how people are like, you have really nice gear. I was like, I know life this other job, and all that money just goes to equipment. Um, it depends if the corporate like a lot of me is like, oh man, I wish I had that corporate remote work job that would
Hmm.
make my life easier. Like money wouldn't be an issue, and then it's like I'd be on the road and no one would know.
Yeah, totally.
So like where it's like I'm looking at this like tour I'm going on with Officer Down. I'm like, dude, I'm gone for 3 weeks and I can't. I have no way to make money to like come home and pay rent. And it's just like, but if I was like, if I had that remote job, yeah, I'd be a little miserable in the van, but I now I have a paycheck and I'm not like fucking myself over.
Dude,
Um,
yeah. I mean, in the beginning of this podcast, I kind of asked everyone, like, what do you think is the new band job? Like the remote job where you get to be on the road and like with the computer and like you answer emails and shit? Or is it that you can find any time that you need to if you're being the bartender or the barista or whatever? And a lot of people kind of were like, oh, duh, like the barista thing. But then they started thinking about it like, well, I can still work on the road and not have to worry about saving money. Like there's a whole shift happening.
yeah, and it's hard for me because it's like I've been looking for remote work, but it's like, oh, every remote job wants a degree. And I'm like, why do I need a degree to run Excel and be on Zoom? You know?
Yeah, one well also like the market right now is a fucking disaster. Like it is not great. It's getting to the point where like um a lot of these jobs are uh as someone that like uh has looked for, stuff, what does it look like in this market? Like there's this really weird thing happening where LinkedIn, I'm gonna fucking like ramble on for a second because I'm really this is like really important to me right now because I think I've been watching all this stuff with like tariffs and businesses and just the market is really fucking volatile. But LinkedIn used to be like the place where you could go look for these jobs. That was like it. I feel like it might have started as a job board and turned into a social media thing. But
Yeah.
you can, and I think what has happened is that when you post these jobs on LinkedIn, LinkedIn gets so heavy up on SEO that you can post your job and have it not be a real job. Like it's being added as SEO for your company. And so like if you have all these things, you can, and also one of the weirdest things that you're allowed to do as an employer is you're able to repost the job to keep it up. And so like you can do this if you'll look at a job and it'll say reposted a week ago. And I'm like, why would you need to repost it if you've probably gotten all the applicants you ever needed? Like the only reason you're doing it is just to keep it up. And so like I'm feeling a little conspiratorial about it. I'm like, where are the actual jobs? Are these even real jobs? It's blowing my mind. I'm looking at it every day going, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, that's crazy. I've always been told like, oh, look at LinkedIn, but then when I do, I'm like, it's just Facebook.
It's just Facebook and it's gross and it's strange and it's also the weirdest social media. Like the
Yeah.
way people post on LinkedIn, it's like um it's always like what I learned about email marketing. Oh, I was walking my dog and all I could think about was I want to make sure that when you are hiring for a job, blah blah blah. And it's just like, oh, it's so cringe and like so strange.
But yeah, also just segueing back to like the DIY economy with like all of this. Um, another thing, it's like I've learned a lot of smaller things like the last tour I did with Indifferent. That was our first tour for a lot of people. It was me and Oriana were like very we've done tours. This isn't our first rodeo. We know what we're doing. But the rest of the band, their first tour. And like it was my job to make sure like you guys have the best experience you've ever had.
Sure.
So you want to do it again. Like, granted, touring and mental health is such a big thing, and I can't advocate it for enough because like I fell into this hole where it's like I I became like the tour manager. I'm like making sure everyone's having fun, but I'm also like doing all the business side. I'm like settling up venues. I'm making sure the venues get my advances, making sure like all this is happening. We're starting on time, all that to the point where I'm like, I was getting like 2 hours of sleep on the road. I didn't eat. Like,
Yeah.
like Oriana had to force me. Like she took me to Panda Express and was like, we're not leaving this drive through until you eat something.
I mean, it's that's the fucking thing, man. Like tour is exhausting. Like it's I went on my first tour last year, and I was stressing myself out. Like I was having like the smallest little panic attacks. I didn't know about like getting there on time, and I was just worried about traffic. And it's like there's moments that you have to like let yourself like, yes, you need to fucking eat. You need to take care of yourself. It is really, really difficult. That's why this tour that we're doing this year is only 3 days. Like, and I'm on tour for like I'm on tour for 9 days because the other 6 days I'm just there for a vacation. That's all we're fucking
Where are
doing.
you going?
So we're doing it's like the trip to Faux. Um
Oh,
uh
okay.
doing Jersey, Pittsburgh, then Coachella. So like me I think it's the way we're doing it is uh my wife Colton and I are taking our time. We're gonna leave the Saturday before, and we're gonna be driving up like and hitting a bunch of like spooky shit. We're gonna go to like the city where like Mothman is from, and like
Oh, I forget what it's. I know it's in West Virginia, but I forget what it's called.
it's like it's something point or it's yeah, I can't remember, but I want to just like I want to go do a bunch of spooky shit. We're gonna go like the Trans Allegheny Tunnel or whatever. We're gonna like just hit a bunch of like I think we're gonna go to the Philadelphia Eastern State Penitentiary.
Oh,
We're gonna take our fucking time to get to New York.
yeah.
And Lex has never been to New York, and so I wanted to be like more of a vacation. But then Mikey and Diggy and everyone else is driving straight to Jersey Monday night. So they're gonna do fucking 13 hours in one day. And it's gonna be a fucking nightmare for them. That's why I was like, let's do a little trip beforehand and like drive 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yeah, there was in the early planning for this Officer Down tour, I like I kind of freaked out on them because I was like, "Hey guys, why do we have a show in South Carolina one day off and then the next show's in Miami? You know that's a 16-hour drive, right? Like we're not doing that, are we? Right?"
Were they like, yes.
They were like, "We are doing that. Yes, we are. It'll be fine." And I was just like, "Whatever. I hate like luckily
I quit.
I quit. No, I was like, luckily we got it sorted out and we got an Orlando date because they were like, hey guys, do you want to sacrifice a day off and play a show in Orlando? And I'm like, yes,
Yeah, please.
yes, anything to make that drive shorter. But going off of like how you're saying like vacations and stuff, the Officer Down tour, it's 3 weeks long, but we're trying to make it as fun as possible. Um, me
Yeah, you
and
have to.
the bass player and I from the other band, he started it. He calls it, he's such a, I called him out on it because he's like, I made an itinerary and he showed it to me and it's so detailed. It's like free things to do in the city. Where are we staying that night? What time are we getting there? Um, how long are we driving after the show? Stuff to do on our free day. Where's the nearest laundromat? And I'm like, dog, you're a tour manager. He's like, no, I'm not. I just like doing this for fun. I'm like, you're a fucking
No,
tour.
no, dude, you are accidentally a tour manager, idiot.
Yeah,
You did
and
it.
so like it's so funny because like we're doing like this long tour, but I don't know how, but we squeezed in 4 days on the beach.
Yes, dog. Oh, that's so sick. You have to have those moments, man. You have to break it up. You have to let yourself have fun on fucking tour. It can't
Yeah,
just be like on the road the whole time. Like if you are on the road the whole time, LP2 will only be about the road the whole time.
yeah, it'll be the 2016 Pup album.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. And I
I
mean,
don't remember what it's called, but that's the
uh
vibe I got.
it's their best record. It is The Dream Is Over, and
Yeah,
it is I whenever I think about like LP2s that are only about the road, that's the fucking one.
especially when the opener goes with this tour doesn't fucking kill you, I will.
It's I love, but I mean everyone talks about it. There's something about like when it's like okay, there's something about like I'm never going to be a band that's on the road. I'm too old for that shit. I do this as a vacation. Like I can't do that. I can't be on the road all the time. But there's this thing about bands where after LP1, or even, yeah, I would say after LP1 and like the success of LP1, and you get a bunch of pitches for stuff, you start saying yes to everything. And then suddenly you're gone for 4 months of that following year. Like the chances of literally 2/3 of your record being about the road is gonna be real. Like that is the I think it's a pitfall. I think it is a issue of LP2s. Actually, speaking of LP2s, I wanted to talk to you about you made something very spicy over the last couple days. Uh the arm's length LP2, you gave it a 6 out of 10. I would like you to defend your position.
Oh, okay. I've gotten a lot of hate because of this.
I think that this is like, as someone that is a huge arm's length fan, that is like this record, the both records LP1 and 2 are like hugely influential on 95 LP2. Like like it is, this is the time and place to defend your shit right now.
Yes, I will start before I defend my shit. I love shit posting.
Yeah.
I if and I'm doing more of it. I have a lot of ideas cooking for Indifferent. If you've noticed, I made one shit post on Indifferent and I got gigs on it. So I started making more shit posts.
Hell
Um,
yes.
I made the first like tier list shit post I personally made was a Bring Me the Horizon shit post.
It
And
was great.
people hated it. They're like, why are you picking it? I was like, deathcore all day.
Dude, well, it's more about like, why did I like it? It's because you could see the shit posting thing part of it. And like there's, if anyone that knows you like knows this. And so I love the triggerness about it. Like it's and you are able to defend these positions, and like the haterade comes out, man. It's so good.
Like, no, I think it was funny when I dropped the dropping the arm's length tier list saying if this is the only opinion, if you don't agree, reconsider your love for emo.
It's so funny.
So I've been a big fan of arm's length. I actually discovered them on spot, like on my Discover Spotify page when I
Fuck
worked
yeah.
at a gas station as a cook. Like I'm in this like closet of a kitchen, just me and my like Bluetooth speaker, listening to like Michael Sarah Palin. Like, and then
Totally.
they're like, oh, if you like Michael Sarah Palin, you're gonna like Arm's Length. And that was when they just released their watercolor EP. And I'm like,
Sure.
this slaps. I love this. This is awesome. Huge fan became I honestly, because of how like I was so used to emo bands not being bands. Like they're like, here's our EP. We're no longer a band.
I know, just pop in,
So,
drop a little 5 or 6 song, and then just disappear off the face of the earth.
so I was under the impression because Arm's Length wasn't very active at the time, but they
Mhm.
were there. That EP was popping off. I bought one of their original merch. I still have it.
That's
Um,
crazy.
I was just like, it was one of those like risky moves you do on Bandcamp where you throw money at them and you're like, maybe I'll get the shirt. I don't know. And so like, yeah, fell in love with that. Then they released Garamond,
Mhm.
not Garamond, Everything Nice.
Mhm.
Garamond is a single off that EP.
Yes.
Loved that to death. Um, I learned I actually can play if I like an EP a lot, I will learn its entirety on drums. And so I know the entire Everything Nice EP on the drum kit.
Hey, shout out Arm's Length.
Shout out Arms
If you need a drummer for that specific EP.
Shout out Arms Length. We use the same drum kit. um anyways, drummer's goated, love him, such a sweet being. Anyways, so the new record, let's stop the fluff. Let's get right into it, shall
Hell
we?
yeah. And speaking of
Um
fluff, I do agree with you on that. Like, I do think that there is a little bit of like, there's a little bit too much softness. But I also think that it's a little bit of a country record. So like,
the new
yeah,
one?
yes.
Yeah, so I have a lot of things to say about it. And I was explaining this to people. I love Arm's Length to the point And just like to the point where in my career of a musician, I'm picking this apart. Like to the average listener, because there's a lot of people who are just like just normal average listeners.
Mhm.
And we're really mad on what I was saying. But I'm like, no, listen to the production, listen to the keys they're in, listen to the tempo. You're like, you're gonna
Mhm.
realize soon they're using the same two forms. They're using the same everything's an open stand. It's definitely an open tuning. It's
Mhm.
all the same key. It's all very similar. I don't know if it's all in open tuning. You can fucking they can DM me and tell me every tuning they
I
have.
think it's an open tuning, and I don't see Homie moving his capo that much. I think everything is on. He has capo on 2.
Yeah, that's a very arm's length emo move in
Yeah,
general.
totally.
But
Yeah,
to me, it just the new album sound very formulaic. Um, Instrumental wise, when I listen to records, I don't really listen to lyrics. I listen to the instrumentation.
totally. Yeah,
Uh,
I like how I write music. It's music first and then lyrics.
So that's the same way I analyze other people. So I'm listening to this. I'm like, okay, it's very like very upbeat, very like do ga all
Mhm.
that. And it's like that's cool. They sound very similar to like their last LP. The like the doubled vocals are very obvious,
Mhm.
very really processed vocal chain, all this stuff. Um, which is fine, but I wish production wise, style wise, I wish they did less of that. I liked how everything nice sounded vocally. It wasn't like overly processed, but that's a nitpick on my
Mhm.
behalf. Not a reason I gave it a 6 out of 10. It was like
Sure.
to me, every song sounded the same. I couldn't really differentiate any song from the other because it was like full band doing the little like folk influence.
Mhm.
They don't do as much twinkly stuff anymore. And then they do like breakdown, but the breakdown isn't that heavy.
Mhm.
And then they do like bridge where it's maybe just guitar and vocals. They build it back up, do the chorus again, maybe do another breakdown. Well, we don't like it's kind of how each song on that record sounded to me. Um, the lyrics I really love. I think Alan is a really good lyricist. Um, and there's a lot of deep shit on that record, and I really like that part. When I made the review, I wasn't really thinking of lyrics. I was just like, I'm looking at this at a production standpoint.
Totally.
So I gave it a 6 out of 10 because I'm like, everything sounds the same. It's in the same tempo range, same keys. You're using the same formula, like. And then I would listen back to like Watercolor, Everything Nice before they went like hella pro and got signed, and I was like, you can tell the differences like now they have a producer, now they have someone like a second set of opinions being like, hey, why don't you do this? This is
Yes.
sound now, where it's like the EPs were like, this is more raw, this is more like why I like DIY. Not to say like producers are like evil and the enemy, because like they do help a lot. But it's just like to me everything sounds the same. There wasn't a lot of like flair. Someone was trying to make the argument like, no, they added banjo, and I was like, yeah, that's the only reason why I knew that the single from the rest of the album
Yeah, I mean,
added banjo.
like, and like, so you're absolutely right, and I think that what you're describing is the pure noise effect. Like, I think that there is a moment where they're like, um, when you get into the higher echelons of like going from, unsigned. I don't think. I think Wax Bodega found them, and that was their first label. I
Yeah,
don't really know if they had anything else released or if they did that
yeah, because
DIY.
I don't know how they got this opportunity, but I think what before they got on Wax Bodega, somehow when their watercolor EP was blowing up, somehow Nothing Nowhere was like, come on tour with me.
Crazy.
How the fuck does that happen?
I
How did
mean,
how did this
yeah,
emo rapper go, I like what you're doing, you're a small band from Ontario, let me take you on tour? Like,
it's just some luck of the draw stuff. That's the stuff that reasons why people join bands. I think
yeah,
there's like the Cinderella moment that people are searching for, where like, oh, they saw me at a bar and now I have to fucking go. That's the puddle of mud moment.
yeah, it's like, I don't know, that's how it is. And I definitely was talking to a buddy of mine in the scene about this too, and we were talking about like the pure noise effect, the way you were saying it. I just didn't have a word for it because
Mhm.
he was saying like, make me a playlist of Carly Cosgrove, Hot Mulligan,
Mhm.
Arm's Length, Ben Quad. I won't tell the difference. They all sound the same to me.
Funny, weird, actually.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, first of all, my brain kind of just fell apart just hearing that because it's just so obvious. Like, if you could something the like, I can describe why they're all different. Like, Ben Quad is a Scrams band now, and
Yeah, but like if you listen to their stuff, like not the EP, not their newest stuff, but like the one they
like
put
the
out.
older stuff, yeah. I mean, when it's like their tippy tappy major key stuff was like, um, it's so different. It's still like harder than Carly Cosgrove. Carly Cosgrove doesn't really go very hard. I would
Yeah.
say almost that Cosgrove is like more indie adjacent than emo in certain cases. I would say like they are so much softer than everyone else.
But what's is really interesting, remember when they did that three-way split and they just
Yeah.
covered each other's songs? They literally sounded the same. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I know it's Ben Quad but covering Arm's Length, but like,
I think that when you're talking about that, the Wax Bodega split, I couldn't know who. Like, if you didn't tell me who was covering who, I wouldn't have known.
you
Like,
wouldn't
I
have known.
at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'd be like, oh, this is a crazy Ben Quad song. No, it's an Arm's Length song. Or like, whoa,
Yeah,
Arm's Length is playing like a really deep song. No, that was Carly Cosgrove.
yeah.
Like,
Um, that you're absolutely right when it comes to that. Like, if you're so right when it comes to the everyone in their DIY phases are so specific and they have their own like cool little sounds. And maybe it's because it is when I say unproduced, it means there's no producer. Like there is like they have this freedom to be specific and have their quirks and stuff. But when they, entering the big spaces, maybe these producer effects, this pure noise effect, where they have to become safer and closer to the same sound because it's obviously just this marketability thing. That's
yeah,
all it is.
no, for sure. It's like, and like when Weak Knees did the Southern Hospitality album, we technically had a producer with us.
Hmm.
And the only thing he ever did as a producer was he was like, hey, I don't like how that song ends. What if you do the chorus, but cool, big wall of sound halftime thing? And we went, okay. And that
Yeah.
was it. That was the only thing that changed. Everything else, he was like, this shit kicks ass.
I
I don't need
think
to change anything.
I think producers should be like, I mean, I think I like DIY producers because DIY producers are more about like, hey, this would be fucking kick ass if you did that. Where like producers that are with, that are hired through record labels, they know that the record label is looking for specific stuff. And they're like, yeah, well, you're gonna want to have to do this. You have to check all these boxes off. Where like I think that Billy Menino from Two Worlds, like he when you're recording, he probably acts as a producer sometimes, and everything that homie touches is like cool and fun, and like you can see where his stuff comes through. Like, uh, homie did the new Townies record, and the uh, I've been graced to hear that record, and it's going to be it's very townies. You can't really hear, you can hear the production, but you don't hear the producer stuff. I like it when you let bands be themselves. And I think that you're right in the Arm's Length record, albeit good. It is good. It's is it as cool as when I first found them with LP1? I don't think so. I think the lyrics hit harder. I think he's a better writer, and I think that there's some melody lines that I'm like fucking obsessed with now. But I think that all in all, it is I miss the paint chipping off and the dents of the car that it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it was like just seeing like watching them grow as a band. Like they're a powerhouse, and like I'm not, and I'm gonna say this, like people think like, oh, It's so funny people think my opinions matter, which is the funniest thing to me. Anyways,
They
it's
do.
no, they don't. I'm just some random girl from Nashville that goes, I fucking hate this new album. He's like, no. I had someone DM me. It's like, I'm Ben's best friend. You shouldn't be saying that. And I'm like, I don't give a who the fuck are you?
Yeah, who the fuck? Are you? Come find me.
I was like, book me a show with arm's length. I don't care. But no, like, I'll shit post. But the thing I like about my shit post is like I back them the fuck up. Like I'm just such a goofy individual. Like my favorite thing, and I was like rattling off my job yesterday because like I was like rattling the cooks, and I went, "Is lo mein a salad?" And I broke them because they had to think about it for a while, and they're like, "No, it's not because it's hot." And I'm like, "Explain a taco salad."
Yeah, duh. So sorry. Yeah, yeah. I think there's
But
something about hater being a hater in certain ways, just to like some people require a little haterade in order to lift people's spirits up. Your
oh,
post lifted people's spirits up.
like no, it's cool because like I love doing the little shit posts because like not only do people get like aggravated, I get to talk to people I haven't talked to in a while. Like, and
Sure.
well at first it'll be like, oh blah blah blah, here's my opinion. This is why I think like maybe you should reconsider blah blah blah. And I'm like, cool. This is why I think about this. Also, how have you been? What you been up to? How are you writing?
Exactly.
What you doing?
I think it's like I've talked to a lot of people about Twitter where like if you want to promote your band, 80% of the whole thing has to be shit posts. Like you
Yeah,
have to have reasons to talk to you.
I hate Twitter. I've never got on the Twitter hype train. Okay, the last time I used Twitter, this is such an Addie deep lore moment. Um, I was fighting a rapper on Twitter with a furry icon about copyright infringement
If that
because
isn't the most Twitter shit, like that's the stuff where like if I saw that, I'd be hooked all day watching this happen. Like
because
that's
like
my favorite shit.
he was pissed because my friend's DIY emo band had the same name as him. And he was like, you can't do that. Me and my producer came up with this name. And I'm like, are y'all signed? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, you don't have the copyright to the name. Therefore, my friend can fucking use that name. He's like, yeah, but everyone's going to be confused on who's who. I'm like, no, they're not. They're going to know instantly if you do your marketing right. Everyone's going to know, like, oh, this is you, the rapper, and not the same name, but emo band from across the country.
What was the emo band name?
Um, Tom Danks.
Tom Danks. That's great. This is great. That sounds very 2001 1919 2019 to 2001 style
Yeah.
like band name.
So they're fighting this like rapper about it, and this guy goes, "You don't know shit. You're just a fucking furry on the internet." And I'm like, "Actually, I go to school for music business. I know what I'm talking about. Don't fuck with me right now because like I'm actually like fucking knee deep in like copyright law right now. Like I know what I'm talking about, but it's chill. You can tell me whatever you want.
See,
I
that's the
actually
best part about the internet.
I did a follow-up on him recently. He's
You
now
found homie again to like fuck with him?
no, I just want to know what he was up to. No, he's not. He's no longer a rapper, but he's a Christian conservative finance bro, like
Shut
consultant.
up. Dude, the pipeline. The pipeline is real. Ugh.
I was like some fucking am I allowed to say slurs on here?
Yeah, I mean, you can say as any slur
As long
that
as it's about me. Okay. I was like some tranny furry, like destroyed you on Twitter and now you're conservative.
Oh my God, dude. I like that you put homie in their place and it's like they're like the only way that I can go now is I have to follow the pipeline into right-wing finance bro shit.
But circling all the way back, I do think the Arm's Length second album is really good and really strong, and it's going to open a lot of doors for them, albeit it's not my cup of tea. Someone told me like you need to listen to it a little bit more because it's the album is more of a grower, and I'm like, I'm tired of albums that have to grow on me. I want to be hooked instantly.
Sure. Like I think my after listening, I mean, listen, it will probably be so far it's like I've written a bunch of records down. It's in my top 5 so far that I have come out this year. I think this year has been a little slow on releases in comparison to like last year, which was just kind of insane.
Yeah, last
Um
year was great. I was having the hardest time keeping up.
It was I had like a list going for a really long time. In fact, it was the first time I ever did a top 20 at the end of the year, then
Yeah.
a top 10.
I-
This year it'll probably be top 20 again, but like just because I like that, but it will be out of way less records.
yeah, I was like, not only was like a lot of more like national bands releasing stuff crazy in 2024. A lot of DIY bands around like the Southeast were also dropping records like crazy. And I'm like,
Yes.
I need like I can't listen to all of this. And I was forgetting some people's records and like just forgot to listen to it because I'm like overwhelmed. I felt like I was doing homework at that point. I was like, I want to support you, but like I feel like it's a chore and I'm not just casually listening. But 2025 is a lot slower because I think everyone just finished their release cycle.
Yep.
So now it's like Weak Knees just dropped an album that is I'm so proud of it. Indifferent's about to drop an EP in like I don't know August. Undetermined. I haven't
Undetermined.
figured it out.
Well, you can do whatever you want. Like that's the best part is that like, August is like a fog of war date where it's like you hope to have it done by then. It's like that's where the schedule is. Speaking of which, how far along is it? What are the vibes like? I'm really excited to know more.
So the vibes of the Indifferent EP2, it's called You're Not Alone. And the whole premise of this EP is that I just want you like yes, I'm venting, going back to how I write. Yes, I'm venting about my life and my personal struggles, but I it's also like I want you to know that you may be feeling the same thing. You're not alone. Um I may be dealing with something similar or exactly the same as you are, and we're gonna work this out. I have a single dropping June 5th called TERF, which just means, for those who don't know, it just means trans exclusionary radical feminist. It just means women who don't see trans women as women. Um, I had experienced that at a toxic job I worked at for like 8 months. But not only is a song called that, but the lyrics are more broad about being like, why do I have to fit this cookie cutter image to please you? Like, why do I have to like basically like you're telling me like I'll never amount to anything the way my life is going, but I have to instead throw my passions away and become this like cookie cutter version of how you perceive me to make this other person feel better about the world.
Yeah, I think that is like important. I think those that the themes there are like so important to talk about, and like I think that I mean, just thanks. Like there's going to be so many like it can be broad, and I think that there's a lot of like issues when it comes to those kind of things, like that everyone will like it.
Yeah, and it's just like no like and there's other like themes in the record. Like I have themes of like um I do get a little political, but that's just the nature. Like
Sure.
I'm in the thick of it. Like I have to live with this every day. Watching like this government for no reason just pick on trans people literally as like a scapegoat to hide what they're actually doing. And so like it's just hard to like it's hard for me to go on the road. Like I formed bathroom anxiety because I'm like living in the Southeast and like, oh God, if I use the right bathroom, am I going to go to jail?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And
Like,
that's something
especially
that you
like,
shouldn't have to be fucking scared of.
like I've made a document of how to survive on the road using bathrooms. Like I've done it enough where I've like, I know when to use certain types of gas stations, when to use rest areas, what time of day to use like just like certain facilities. But like I have other songs that are like the government is banning all these books. They're trying to eradicate trans people. That was our first single called Tell Me Everything. Basically, it was like me having a conversation with these people like, tell me everything that you're doing, but like I'm gonna like tell me everything you can't see. Like why don't you understand like my perspective? Now let me tell you what you can't see. Let me tell you why what you're doing is negatively impacting me and my community of like queer people in general. Like why is this happening? Um it's a very deep and emotional song. Even though it's like it's the only song that has no like singing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um but there's like other songs like there's a song called Never Coming Home where it's like um, that's how we're closing the EP. It's a crazy fucking song. It's just basically about like you coming out as queer or you basically like um being wanting to do something in your life, but your family doesn't accept you for it. And they're just like, no, we don't support you. We don't want that. So instead of you like submitting and be like, okay, I'm going to please you and do that, it's about you leaving. You're like, fuck this. I'm gone. I'm
Mm-hmm.
moving. I'm moving to 700 miles away from home.
Yeah.
Oh, why? How come I never visit? Well, here's why.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
kind of, I mean, not to, I mean, I feel like that this word is like um used wrong. Well, I mean, yes, but it has a connotation with it. Like there's like sometimes songs have to be manifestos and like why and explain all that stuff. Like this is a declaration of exactly why I feel this way. And that's okay. It's fucking cool.
yeah, it's it's really cool, and I just want to keep it as I want to keep it relatable, and I feel like the best thing for me, and this is when I always listen to music, it's like the best way I love albums and it clicks for me is like I relate to this instantly.
Hmm.
Um, I love the controversial take. I fucking love Sorority Noise. I know they're not the best people,
Hmm.
but before they got canceled, I like listened to all their stuff religiously, and I was like, I feel this way. I'm super depressed. I relate to this hard, or it's like, um, I don't know, just like if the lyrics are real and raw, that's what I gravitate towards. And so I
Uh,
want to keep that vibe.
yeah, I think that when it comes to those, like, I only listen to like the singles from Sorority Noise and that the rec only is it their only record that they released? You're Only as Blank or whatever that was called. What was that record called?
You're not as blank as you think.
Yeah, You're Not as Blank as You Think. I listened to that record and then I kind of just only like I ripped off their main single for one of our songs.
That's
Uh
crazy. That is their heaviest song, like thematically.
yeah.
And it is a tough listen. If no one's ever listened to it, that is the toughest Sorority Noise record. I think I literally will cry every time I listen to it front to back because it's just him dealing with like
Is it the
all
death of a friend or a death of a
death
like
of
a
a
sib?
friend and a lot of suicidal ideation, and it's just
Mhm.
like it's really hard, and it's a lot of him like it's my fault, and I'm like no, I don't, and like, if you think like that, like obviously like you're grieving, you're going through something, but like I don't think like blaming yourself is a good way to like try and like get over something that traumatic, even though
Mhm.
like when that situation happens, you're thinking of every way like, oh, if I did this different or if I did this different, like maybe you would still be here. And
Yeah.
like I've experienced a lot like death in my life too, and it's just hard. It's a hard concept, but they got some their second album I feel like I should know these all by name.
Totally.
Their second album which is not me cheating.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Addie is looking it up right now.
Shut the fuck up. Joy Departed. Hey, chat. Addie is looking it up. Not a real fan.
Yeah.
Uh,
L L L L
L
L.
moment. Addie doesn't actually listen to emo. No, Joy Departed is a really good album. I think if you were to get into that, the second album is probably the easiest listen.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I like
hell
that.
Well-
Well, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, I was very fortunate to see Sorority Noise on my 19th birthday
Cool.
in Chicago, and that was a week before they got canceled.
Is it kind of frozen in time for you, your relationship to them? Where
Yeah,
like
I
you
would
just look at it that way?
I definitely listen. I don't listen to them as often as I used to. I'm very like I still try to stay ethical. Like I don't stream them. I don't support. Like I don't want to give them more money.
Sure, totally.
I own their vinyls, and that's usually how I listen to their stuff.
Mhm.
So it's like I bought all those vinyls at their last show, and it's like, okay, I already gave you like the $90 those vinyls ran me, but like that's it. That's all you get from me is $90.
Totally.
Now I get unlimited plays and you don't get streaming. You don't get royalties anymore because
I think that's a good way of looking at it.
you got mechanicals, or it's like if you like a canceled band, pirate their music. You didn't hear it from me. I didn't say that. I'd say that.
No. There was a glitch. There's just a little radio frequency came
I'm
in.
saying
Someone said that.
support local artists, buy their shit. That's how we make a living. That's how we get on the road. That's how we are able to do what we do. But if you fuck up, I have no remorse.
Yeah, I get that. I want to play again, kind of the end here. I want to play an Indifferent song. What song do you want to play on this podcast?
So the song I want to play, I'm releasing a single June 5th called Turf. It is featuring my good friends Sunstreak.
Awesome.
So it's a very cool little like moment. It was really funny in hitting up Jack and be like, "Do you want to be in on a different song?" Obviously, he was like, "Yes, please, yes, God, yeah."
Yeah, absolutely.
When I told him what the song was about, I had to explain to him everything. It was really cute. It was a cute moment. And Jack is the biggest ally ever. And he was like, I got you. No, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah. I will say Jack is, again, I think Homie is also part of Nashville. Like he helps book. Streak is amazing. Like all of the projects that he's involved with are incredible. Here is Turf by Indifferent.
Get close to fix the issue! Shut the fuck up, bitch! Stay in your lane! Am I living alone when I degrade myself to please you? Do you find self-enjoyment to see me shut down and implode? Why can't you see? I put myself first, what's your deal? Yeah.
that was Turf by Indifferent. Addie, you everything that you do is gold. You're amazing. Thank you so much for hopping on early morning with me and doing this. Like you're incredible.
No, you're incredible. The amount of work you put in the scene as well does not go unnoticed, and I think you've been doing a lot for the scene, especially recently too. So,
Dog, I really appreciate that. I'm really trying to like, if I can't be at every show, but I like at least talking and doing the podcast for everyone. And because people deserve to be on podcasts, and it feels really, really good to be asked about how you did everything. And like that everyone deserves that. And you deserve this as well. Like that's why I reached out to you. I was like, you need to be on the podcast because there's just so much that you do for Nashville. So yes, thank you so much. Have a good fucking day, and I'll see you soon.
yeah, thanks for having me. I'd love to be on it again. I just love yapping.
Yes, dog. Absolutely. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye bye.